So we have 3 chapters of Ecclesiastes left. Chapter 10 is where we're starting here today. Chapter 10 is interesting, kind of just more, not that the whole book hasn't been like proverbial statements so far, but chapter 10 definitely is like, a lot of them don't really tie together. You throw out this truth and then throw out that truth and throw out this truth, and we'll some of them, your guess is as good as mine as to what it may mean. We'll take a crack at what it may mean, but maybe put all our heads together, we can figure it out. But we'll see. So, why don't we start with 1 through 10. Ecclesiastes 10, 1 through 10.
As dead flies give perfume a bad smell, so a little folly outweighs wisdom and honor. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left. Even as he walks along the road, the fool lacks sense and shows everyone how stupid he is. I love that.
Simon gets right down to it.
I know. If a ruler's anger rises against you, do not leave your post. Calmness can lay great errors to rest. There is an evil I have seen under the sun, the sort of error that arises from a ruler. Fools are put in many high positions, while the rich occupy the low ones. I have seen slaves on horseback, while princes go on foot like slaves. Whoever digs a pit may fall into it. Whoever breaks through a wall may be bitten by a snake. Whoever quarries stones may be injured by them. Whoever splits logs may be endangered by them. If the axe is dull and its edge unsharpened, more strength is needed, but skill will bring success.
Okay, see what we can glean from here. Yeah, some are maybe a little more obvious than others. I would say the first few verses are a little more obvious. You can have the nicest perfume in the world, but get dead fly in there and it's going to suddenly kind of pollute it a little bit, right? It's not going to be quite as pure and nice when you got dead flies floating around. So as that is true, as dead flies give perfume a bad smell, so a little folly, just a little even, outweighs wisdom and honor. On your sheets, examples of how a little folly can bring the wise and honorable death. Examples maybe in your life or in history or famous people.
Well, if you do something small and it can make a fool out of yourself, before you know it, gossip and rumors and everything.
Okay, all it takes is one little thing, right? And you can 99% of the time live a nice, honorable life, but one foolish decision can suddenly, as you said, gossip and rumors, and maybe they're not quite as pure as we thought they were. Look at that.
Well, especially if they're in a higher position.
Yeah.
Then it's out there for everybody to hear. I mean, look at former presidents who have,
Right.
made some
Scandal.
dumb little thing, and boy, it's out there for everyone.
Yeah, the athlete, the movie star, the people who
Yeah.
we put up on these pedestals, right? And then the Tiger Woods, getting DUI on his
Oh, yes, I just don't know
pain
what's going
pills,
on.
not an ounce of liquor in his body, but I don't know how much oxycodone he was on. Flips his car, and all of a sudden now, and this is how many times he's been arrested for that.
Watch.
How can
And
he
he
tell you
looks
it's billions of
awful.
dollars? Yeah, he looks
terrible.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson,
Oh, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
years ago. America's sweetheart idol.
Can't get over it.
Yeah.
If I remember management class from about 100 years ago, one of the things they says it takes 10 attaboys or compliments to counteract one criticism.
What's remembered more? It's the bad.
Yeah, the bad.
It takes a lot of good to make up for one bad. Yeah. Thankfully, our spiritual life isn't like that, where you have to do good to make up for bad. But in the real world, one bad thing trumps a whole lot of good things. Yeah, you see a lot of examples of it. To That's not politics, right? It's not smart people inclined to the right and fools to the left. It's, remember, back in those days, right was that position of power and authority, the right hand of God, and left was the sinister, is the word in Latin for the left. So sinister, left-handed, there was this aura, there was this stigmatism. If you were left-handed, they would force people to become right-handed. If their kids grew up and they were left-handed, parents would say, stop that, and we're going to make you learn to write with your right hand, because that's wicked and evil if you're left-handed. So that's just kind of that was the thinking in those days about right and left.
Well, just even in the 60s, I remember
Oh,
in
really?
school,
Yeah.
teachers and parents, no, you're gonna write with your right hand.
For that same reason, do you think?
I don't know, I think it's more prestigious, left-handed people.
Weirdos if you're left-handed. Yeah.
I grew up in a small town.
I know.
They'd slap your hand with a ruler if you're using your left hand. Wow.
See?
There you go. Well. And yeah, verse 3, even as he walks along the road, the fool acts sense, shows everyone how stupid he is. You love that. Just the fool you can't miss. Like, man, that person's a fool.
What does the EHV use? Do they use stupid?
No. He advertises to everyone that he is a fool.
I think stupid hits it.
I think so.
What a moron that guy is.
We can relate better, can't we?
4 is kind of interesting. If a ruler's anger rises against you, don't leave your post. Calmness can lay great errors to rest. You can make a commentary on that verse there. EHV says, keeping calm puts serious sins to rest.
So you keeping calm if somebody else has done a serious thing is what we're looking at?
Kind of what it seems like, yeah. The ruler, your boss, whoever is all mad and trying to get you to get your blood pressure up, he says, just take a deep breath, keep calm. Calmness can lay great errors to rest. In what way?
They probably get mad and say, well, I thought they were gonna get mad and raise a fuss, and then they leave it be. I don't know.
In general in life, how does calmness keep errors at bay?
Doesn't fuel the fire.
Yeah.
Keeps you from doing something stupid.
Keeps you from doing something. So back to verse 3, right? The fool is stupid. And here's a way you can not be stupid. When you have an opportunity to go nuts about something, just take a breath, keep calm.
Well, then you're not getting other people to get angry too. I mean, that sometimes if you get mad and you start, everybody else sees that you're mad, well then they're all getting mad because they think the boss did something they shouldn't have. And what's the point?
What's the point, yeah. It's that whole, and I've done this many times in my ministry, where you type something out, right? All right, I'm gonna sit on this tonight. I'm not gonna send it till tomorrow, right? I'm gonna get it all out there, save the draft. You come back tomorrow and say, okay, well, we're gonna delete that line and maybe send it, should I send it to a fellow pastor? Should I say, well, maybe say it that way instead? Yeah, you're right. Because he's objective, he doesn't care, he just wants you to keep peace. And so I wouldn't say it that way, I'd say, yeah. So, but by the time you send the actual email, it's half of it isn't what you originally wrote, right? You've calmed down, okay.
But you feel better that you.
But you vented, you got it out, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna score points by just getting all upset about things.
Was it the proverb with a gentle whisper?
Yeah, I forget the
When
one.
somebody wants to fight, just
Right.
talk back nicely,
Just
and then their anger goes down. and
Be
you just
kind,
quiet down.
yep.
People get in trouble with social media.
Yeah, you see that a lot. It just fuels it and escalates, and people just say things.
That's why I'm not on it.
Maybe that's just to turn it off, right?
Because you'd be fueling it, is what you're saying?
Letter.
Except for on my Facebook.
So I wonder if that's kind of where that's going. 5 through 7, this is sort of Luther's comment. It is the fool in charge everywhere, prevailing in the Senate and the court of rulers. The world is foolish and it's ruled by fools and by foolish opinions. So 500 years ago, that's what Luther thought of some of the people in charge. In Ecclesiastes, there's an evil under the sun. Fools are put in high positions. while the rich occupy the low ones, I wonder if rich isn't as necessarily like financially, but maybe like rich in wisdom. It seems opposite. The fools are the ones in charge, and how are they? I just wish there was normal people who had wisdom. It's all these people fighting all the time. Slaves are on horseback, and princes are like slaves. This kind of bizarro opposite world where Luther said, don't be surprised if that's just life under the sun. And that's been his point the whole book, life under the sun. Things aren't always going to be great. Things are going to be opposite, and I don't understand why they prosper and they don't. And well, that's because you're not in heaven yet, and life under the sun is tough. 8 and 9 is a difficult one. Whoever digs a pit may fall into it. Okay. Breaks through a wall, may be bitten by a snake. Okay. Quarrying stones, you may be injured. Splitting logs, you may be endangered. At first it's like, well, if you take a dangerous job, be careful? Is that what he's saying there? But I don't know if that really makes sense in the context of the whole book. Be careful what kind of job you sign up for. I put down, maybe it's more dishonest as well as honest work, like doing foolish things maybe. Be careful if you're digging a pit, be careful. Is he talking about more like that's the attitude of the fool, digging pits for themselves all the time? They're breaking through a wall and be careful, there might be a snake on the other side. You're irrational, rash.
Kind of being careful even though you think you're okay. Be careful because you could still say or do something dumb.
Yeah. He's splitting the log, and all it takes is one misstep and you lost a hand.
Like a metaphor kind of thing. Like
Charlie, is that what you were going to say?
Well, to kind of tie it in earlier too, it's the sinful world we live in where you have people getting mad about certain things, but sometimes that invites more aggression.
Yeah.
And so if you do that, sometimes it makes it worse.
Right.
You're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. And to this too is even honest work. I was in a job between college or summer, and one of the guys mentioned me, he goes, Charlie, you can slow down. There's still going to be more work to do. If you accomplish too much, they're just going to add more work to it. Doing honest days work sometimes invites, again, the sinful world to say, well, you did that, great. Here's some more.
Right.
And here's more. And you're not exactly rewarded for an honest day's labor.
That could be an any job.
And everyone else is mad at you. How come you're trying so hard? It makes
Right.
us look bad.
Yeah.
Slow down. What were you going to say, Jan? You with any job?
It can happen in any job. You prove to them you can do this. Maybe you can do just a little bit more. With no more pay, all that good stuff.
Let this person go and you can do both jobs now.
Oh, see? I
Save
see
a
that a
little
lot
money.
too. Yeah.
Thank you for your service to the company. Here's some more stuff to do for a 2% raise. So.
2%. 2%.
So we'll give you another title. Here's a name badge for you. Cool.
New business plaque.
Yeah, plaque. Thank you for your 25 years. Here's a cake. So that one's a little tougher one, but I think probably somewhere in that atmosphere is where that comes out. 10, if the axe is dull and unsharpened, more strength is needed, or sharpen the axe. Maybe that's a smarter thing. Maybe instead of hitting something harder, just sharpen the axe and you won't have to do that. It'll be accomplished in 2 blows instead of 8. So perhaps wisdom prevailing over strength. Don't be dumb. And the axe is dull. Go ahead and sharpen it. Duh. Don't be a fool. Be wise. Use your wisdom.
Work smarter, not harder.
Work smarter, not harder. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's how we say it today.
Heard that one.
Excellent. So like you see, these are kind of just random sort of truisms that Solomon's throwing out there. And a few more here in this section. How about 11 through the end of the chapter, 11 through 20? Dean, you want to do that?
If the snake bites before it is charmed, there's no advantage to having a charmer. Words from a wise man's mouth bring favor, but a fool's lips swallow him up. The fool starts out by saying stupid things, but he ends up speaking wicked madness. The fool multiplies words. No one knows what will be in the future, and who can tell him what will come after him? The hard work of fools wears them out so much that they no longer know their way to town. Okay. How unfortunate you are, O land, when your king once was a servant and your officials overeat in the morning. How blessed you are, O land, when your king is a son of nobles and your officials eat at the right time, to get stronger, not to get drunk. Because of laziness, roof beams sag. Because of idle hands, the house leaks. Food is made for pleasure, wine makes life happy, but money is the answer for everything. Do not curse the king even in your thoughts, and do not curse a rich person in your bedroom, for a bird in the skies might carry your voice. Wow, that happens today. Or a bird in flight might reveal the matter.
Okay, yeah, so
The almanac.
That's PHP that you're reading?
Yeah.
So they said stupid there,
you
interesting.
did.
I should use stupid words.
I think, yeah, when we get to that, I wonder, especially verse 19, I wonder if that, like in air quotes, kind of, here's the attitude of money can fix anything. We're here just to feast and laugh and drink and have a lot of money. And I wonder if that's kind of sort of in italics or in, this is the attitude of the fool, right? But anyway, yeah, so the snake biting ties in then with 12, talking about a fool just can't stop talking. Right? They're consumed by their own lips. They multiply their word. That was James 1:26. This is a kind of famous one.
Fool multiplies words. It just sounds like one of those word salads that we hear often.
Well, yeah, just talking for the sake of talking, trying to maybe say something smart, but you're just sounding dumber the more you talk. So, yeah, the Dean, that's the one, James 1:26.
Quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Yeah, which fits in very well with what he's been saying here, right? Here's wisdom. Listen quickly, speak slowly, and don't become angry. Slow to speak, slow to become angry, but quick to listen.
Again, in management, you have to draw out the person that's quiet, because that person might have the exact answer,
Right?
just like she just had.
Yeah, that's it. And oftentimes it's the fool who just can't shut up, right? Okay, we've heard what you have to say now. We have other people who need to talk here, so.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I told both of my sons, and maybe I'm bragging a little here, but I told
Yes, sir.
both of them that you're gonna be sitting in a meeting someday, and the whole meeting's gonna be about some tough issue. And you're gonna be sitting there thinking, well, isn't it obvious this is what we should do? And you're not gonna say a thing because you think, oh, everybody's gotta be thinking this, and they're gonna say, oh, come on, why do you even say that? We're all thinking that. But then all of a sudden, nobody came up with that, so you need to say it. And they both have said, yeah, I said it, and they were like, wow, that's a great idea, and I thought everybody thought of it. So the quiet one you have to bring out.
So when you do talk, people listen to what you have to say. Isn't that true with a lot of people? People have said that about me, like, you don't talk much, but when you talk, it's worth hearing. So, I'm not one who has a lot of words. I'll take it in and kind of listen. But when I do have an opinion, here's what I think maybe it should happen here.
The one you just got.
Talk for 20 straight minutes every Sunday.
I do,
Not
yeah.
that long.
Gotta earn my keep.
Got a week's worth right there.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done for today. Until next Sunday.
Funny how God puts someone in our lives that does the talking for us. sometimes,
Yeah, right, yeah. My wife is not without words. And I've said how often she's usually right. She's almost always right, to be honest. Yeah. But she wants me to figure it out. You know, you need to figure it out for yourself before I just tell you what to do, because I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah, you're usually right. I'm wrong.
Awesome.
Not too proud to admit it. Yeah. Actions speak louder than words. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah.
Generally, kind of true, right? To the point of this whole section. Just, Proverbs 10:19. Someone look that one up.
I've got it.
Okay.
When words are many, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise.
Yeah. To the fool multiplies words. We kind of chuckled at 15. A fool's work wearies him. He doesn't know the way to town. What do you think that means?
He gets so wrapped up in his worries that he doesn't know where he's going.
Basic things, right? I can't even remember how to get home. I'm so wrapped up in all these foolish things I have to get all my opinions in on. I forgot how to get back to my house. You've forgotten what really is important. You've forgotten what matters. Maybe just, as Steve said, turn off the internet for a while, right? And get back to the basics.
No wonder it takes you so long to get back to me when I text you.
Yeah, I don't have my phone on.
There you go. Blessing and a curse. 16 and following, again, kind of just this whole, the fool getting up, getting drunk in the morning, right, versus blessed are you if your princes are doing the right thing at the right time, strength, not drunkenness, the attitude of the lazy and the consequences in your house, rafters sag, house leaks. This is Fred was saying, I think 19 maybe would be in quotes if you were, I don't know, what does EHV do with that? I guess they don't do anything, yeah. Food is made for pleasure, wine, that doesn't fit the book to say money is the answer for everything, as if that's his wise advice now after saying be careful about that stuff. 19 seems like this is just the attitude of the fool. Worry about food, worry about wine, worry about money. That's the opposite of things Solomon has been saying throughout the book. So, and then 20, a little bird told me. You've heard that phrase.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where that comes from? Right, it comes from some play if I remember, but be careful what you say. A little bird might hear it, and it might get back to someone that you're talking about.
Is it from Mozart's opera?
Is that what?
Papageno,
Figaro or Marriage of Figaro?
Two birds, yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
So that verse 19,
Yeah, what do they
some
say?
commentary I see is, since the theme of the book is largely under the sun, that qualifies to, this is true under the sun.
Under the sun attitude, that would make sense, yeah. And Solomon's point is, life is not about being under the sun, but this is the reality of the world you live in while you're under the sun, so. That would definitely be an under the sun attitude. Food for pleasure, wine for happiness, money fixes all your problems. All right, anything else on chapter 10? Okay. On to 11 then, 1 through 6. This is a tough verse here. 1 and 2 is kind of confusing too. Maybe you can glean from Lynn Harmonson.
Cast your bread on the surface of the water, and after many days you will find it again. Put part of your investment into 7 or even into 8 ventures, for you do not know what disaster might come upon the land. If the clouds are full, they pour out rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, wherever it falls, there it will lie. Whoever keeps watching the wind will never sow, and anyone who keeps looking at the clouds will never reap. Just as you do not know the path of the wind, or how bones form in the womb of a pregnant woman, so you do not know the work of God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and at evening do not let your hand rest, for you do not know which effort will succeed, this one or that, or if both of them will be equally good.
All right. So if you have the Concordia Bible, the verse 1 there, their commentary on the whole cast your bread, be adventurous, like those who accept risks and reap the benefits of the seed-born trade. Don't always play it safe. Is there commentary on that verse? Luther?
Each EHV does have a footnote on
Oh,
that.
Three main applications of the principle: international commerce, charity, and brewing beer. There you go.
What?
Soaking bread and water was their method of brewing. In all three cases, the point of the proverb is the same. You have to invest something to make a profit. Interesting. Luther's explanation on your sheets: cast your bread, that is, share your food, which the Lord has given you, upon the waters, that is, give it simply and generously, even though your kindness seems to you to perish and your bread seems to sink into the water. For God does not let himself be surpassed in generosity, but surpasses our generosity in endless ways. So he kind of ties verse 1 into verse 2. I think in his mind it might not, when you cast bread under the water, it seems like you're just kind of throwing it away, right? It seemed, well, why would you, I guess a fish might eat it, but it seemed like you're wasting your bread. But then verse 2 says, no, give generously, give portions to 7 or 8. You don't know. You don't know what disaster may come on the land. Maybe you're benefiting someone by giving your portions. So that's a tough verse. I don't know if I was preaching on it, I don't know if I could accurately say this is what this verse means.
Kind of like financial planning.
So in the new member book, that's in the section on the seventh commandment about our property and goods, they have that verse in there for financial planning. As what does God want us to do with our money, and what are the things? One should be obvious: give back to Him, right? Take care of family is another one, those closest to you. Take care of the poor and other charities, things like that. And then the fourth one in there is be smart about investments and have your retirement. And they use Ecclesiastes 11 as their proof passage for that. And so it's kind of an interesting one to explain to people. And here's what this kind of sort of might mean. So the new member book I use would agree with you, Lynn, that this is a verse on financial planning. I don't know if you use that one, Charlie, on your business
I
card.
typically do not crack the Bible in meetings, but
Ecclesiastes 11 says, cast your bread on the
it
water.
helps drive the point home. They have biblical investments out there.
Right.
So,
Agree or disagree? Solomon is teaching us to be generous in helping others because we know eventually it'll come around back to us. That's interesting. Is that the
I don't.
attitude one should have about helping others because you know eventually it's going to come back to you?
Karma is not biblical.
Karma would be a way, some way to call it. Do good and good will eventually come back around your way.
Even if you don't, even if it doesn't come back to you, you should help others,
Because what's your motive in doing it?
because that's what Jesus wants us to do.
The cheerful giver, the generous giver doesn't do it so that one day I'll get more back to me. This is just what you do. This is, you give because of everything that was given to you. And God will bless it, and maybe it's going to be a spiritual blessing you get back from it. Right? You know what? And I know that my offering got to help this or that or this person or this whatever cause. And it doesn't mean that some televangelists would disagree, right? You turn it on and, oh, you'll be so blessed. If you give $100, God will repay you in double. You don't know. How do you know that? And is that what a wrong purpose for giving? Give so that you can
You
get.
give so just you feel better
Yeah,
knowing that you've given.
right. What an honor to serve the Lord in this way. I can thank Him for what He's done by giving back in some way. Not to get, not to receive. In fact, it's more blessed to give than to receive, Scripture says.
I think that's why Jesus taught us about the widow's mite.
Right, yeah. All these other people gave so much in zeros after the zeros in the check. She gave a couple cents, and that's the kind of gift I'm looking for. It wasn't about the zeros. Yes, we need a lot of zeros to do things, but at the end of the day, Jesus wants the heart. I want you to give from the heart, even if it's just a couple cents. Yeah, and so he doesn't say these people are giving bad things, but he focuses on her because of this is the heart I'm looking for. Yeah. Anything else on that one? So just kind of get into motive for giving. This section of the book reminds us not only we can't foresee the outcome of our efforts, we don't even fully understand the events of the past or present. How does Solomon want that truth to affect the way we approach our work? What are the implications of this for our work as God's church? Maybe someone look up 1 Corinthians 3. We won't read all of that Matthew section. Matthew 13. First Corinthians 3:6. Charlie, do you have it? No? It's okay. Randy has it.
I planted, Apollos watered, but God was causing the growth?
Yeah. So talking about the Corinthians, right? And the preacher doesn't necessarily always see the fruit of the labor as far as someone coming to faith, but you were maybe just the one who tilled the soil. And then someone else came around and planted the seed. And someone else watered it. And eventually the Spirit's the one who makes it grow. But, Matthew 13 is the sower and the seed. Remember that parable? These different options of soil or ground on which the seed fell. And some of it didn't do anything because it came on the concrete. And some of it got choked up by the thorns and thistles. And some of it the birds came in. But some of it did grow. And it grew a lot. Way more than what was sown. So back to the question. How does Solomon want that truth to affect the way we approach our work and the implications for our work as God's church? I've definitely learned to take comfort in these verses a lot more throughout my years. What is his point?
Just keep doing it, no matter what. It doesn't matter how many people you have in your building for each service, as long as the people that are in the building are hearing the word and taking it out.
Yeah.
We can't always be worried about numbers,
Right. Right. Like these last few weeks have been a complete blessing. We've
Yeah.
230 some for Palm Sunday. Easter, I would understand. Palm Sunday,
Yeah.
and it wasn't a lot of visitors. Easter was over 300. This week we're going to be over 200 again, I'm pretty sure.
It was fairly full today, right?
Yeah, and there were visitors. There's a basketball tournament in town, so a lot
Yeah, there was a good singer in the back row.
Yeah, I heard that.
thanked him, because as I came out to play piano, hymnal was up like this, he was singing beautifully. So after
he
church,
was.
he was kind of putzing around by the tech desk. And I said something to him, he said, "Oh, did you go up and play piano? That's so cool how the organ and the piano switch off like that."
Doesn't happen by accident.
Here we go.
So yeah, just in our work as a church, just being faithful, just keep scattering seeds, just keep preaching the gospel, and like anything, you have your seasons of many and plenty. You have your seasons maybe not as of plenty, and it's just in cycles. And, don't lose too much sleep over it. God's going to do what God's going to do. So, anything else in that section? And then let's close out chapter 11, and then we'll call it good. 7 through the end of the chapter. John's got that.
Light is sweet and it is good for eyes to see the sun. Yes, even if a man lives many years, and all of them let him find joy. But let him keep in mind the days of darkness, for they will be many. Everything that is to come is vapor. Young man, be happy while you are a child, and let your heart make you glad during the days of your youth. Walk down the roads on which your heart leads you, and on the way your eyes see. But know that for all these, God will bring you into judgment. Put frustration out of your mind and ignore the troubles of your body, because youth and the dawn of life are vapor.
Yeah. So, you could probably add 12 verse 1. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come and the years approach, when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. Psalm summarizes advice for the young who are filled with energy, enthusiasm, and optimism, but will face many days of darkness in their lives. What would wise old Solomon say looking back on it? Looking back on his life and everything he had and everything he was, everything he did. What does he say as old grandpa talking to his grandkids? Enjoy it. Enjoy life.
Enjoy it
Under
now.
the sun, yeah. Day's gonna come where there's gonna be things you don't enjoy as much. Be ready for those when they come. Not everything's always gonna be laughter and joy and good things. Know where to go when those bad days come. Now, he doesn't get a specific here, but the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, Proverbs says. Yeah.
Bad, no matter what happens, God's in control.
Yeah. Don't be the fool. Don't be quick with your words. Don't do rash things. Just be kind, be patient. Enjoy life, absolutely. But understand that life isn't all just about life, right? There is eternal life also. And that's at the end of the day what really matters. So young person, enjoy life, but don't let your enjoyment of life get in the way of eternal life. I think is kind of Solomon's point here. And then when we get to chapter 12, which we're not going to do today, he has all these different metaphors for here's what it's like when you get old. You can't see and you can't hear and you have to pee all the time.
We're all experts on that one.
So while you're young, remember the good times.
Yeah.
We say we can start building
don't
it
have to
right
go
here.
there.
Yeah, right, go around the room.
We'll let Rondi know what she has to look forward to.
Yeah, there you go. Someday, Rondi. Whippersnapper.
You just wait.
The good old.
I guess that means you and I are old for you too. You're the young one here. Congratulations. Our youthful energy over this. I'm just local, I'm 28.
Because she lives smarter, not harder.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have an age like the rest of us.
Absorbing all of your wisdom.
All the talk of us fools. Well, okay, let's pause there. Any ideas for next study? Anything you want to know? A topic, a book? The next chapter will take us like 15 minutes. It's not, maybe not even that far. So, now maybe I'll go through and see something we haven't done in a while. I get all mixed up as far as what we've done and when we've done men's study and women's study. Oh, yes, Tom.
You have more and more older people in the congregation
Yeah,
that may like a vision of what's ahead for the older person. And I'm picturing what is the next stage for them, or where would God have them apply themselves? Now, that's not saying it correctly.
yeah. You talking about, you're not talking about like end of life decision things or,
Yeah,
You are.
and not even decisions so much as questions.
uh,
Now, I'm old,
The old should be a.
and going back by memory, which is dangerous for me to do.
yeah.
That's why I stay quiet most of the time in a crowd this size. I wouldn't dare say something. But I know that in the Bible there is a place where you can find a picture of what's coming, a business of what's your life or your I don't want to say business because it's not correct. But what your life will look like in coming years, or you may find
Maybe think about it and
Yeah.
call me or email me.
Think about it a
Yeah,
little
think
bit.
about, I'm trying to track. I have something on like end of life stuff, but I don't think you're talking about, like,
Are you thinking of like what you can do to continue serving or helping as you get older and maybe can't do as much as you used to?
Well, that's a possibility up to, certainly that would come into it, then, but, what I was trying to get at was, what do we look at next? Let's say the person who's in their 80s, what do they look at? What does their life look like next?
yeah.
What do they got to look forward to?
Dust. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's too easy.
Prayer and death. Charlie.
I've always been curious about common, like, misquotes from the Bible, or people you hear, so people rattle off a phrase, and I don't know how many times we've said this either in a Bible study or a church meeting or something, and you're like, well, it's been said this, I'm like, well, it's not actually referenced in the Bible, or
God will never give
people
you more than you
use
can
something
handle.
maybe incorrect.
That's the one.
I've always,
That's the
it's fascinating to me to hear
I said, when do we?
those things, kind of people pick them up and all of a sudden apply, they're like, wow, no, the Bible says, no, it doesn't.
Right.
If there's a,
Yeah, no, there's something on that. Does the Bible really say that type thing? What does it really say when it says that?
those things
How much it was
always,
last night?
Sure.
kind of,
Yeah, we could maybe do a couple of weeks on that. And,
Monsoon.
yeah, Tom, maybe think about that and try to get me sort of what you're thinking, and
I just figure I'm 86, God woke me
There
up
you go,
today,
86.
my work isn't done.
Yeah.
He's gonna guide me to help me do what I need to do. I'm getting closer to heaven, but obviously it's not my time yet because he woke me up for another day.
right. Amen to that.
I'm blessed to have that one more day.
We have a birthday to sing for.
We do.
Yeah, speaking of getting older in the 80s, 80, yoo-hoo! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Winnie. Happy birthday to you. Made it.
Yeah, she hit a new
Starting
decade.
a new decade, come decade.
I'm so happy. You're so happy all the time. No complaints.
That's because of the medication she takes.
All right, that's it.